What's up, everybody? It's your boy, and we back with another episode of the Neg Entropy Chronicles. So this is a little different. I don't always talk about sports, but what I'm going to talk about is Kwame Brown. And Kwame Brown was a young man at one point in time where he was the first round draft pick and was drafted by Michael Jordan. Now, the reason I'm even talking about him is because recently he's been popping up where people have been, for years, almost like 2 decades, they've been pretty much disrespecting his name, talking really down on him as a player. Now, granted, he wasn't, as a first-round draft pick, perceived as a lot of first-round draft picks. Man, he's supposed to be this higher echelon of performance, things like that. First off, let's be very clear. To get into the NBA is very rough. It is not an easy game. I think it's like 400 players that actually make it into the NBA. So to make it in it, you are in a very elite club. Now, not everybody on these rosters is going to give you 30 points a game or triple-double numbers or double-double numbers. They might give you just singles. You get what I'm saying? And Kwame Brown went to Michael Jordan's team. And what ended up happening is Michael Jordan berated him, destroyed him mentally to the point where he did not perform as well as people had projected him to perform. And now they're bringing him back up, and he's starting to respond. And a lot of the responses that he's giving is more on man-to-man combat. Hey, you want to talk about me? Let's meet up with the gloves off and have a personal conversation. And people are kind of like, well, why is he going there? Why is it this? Why is it that? We have to understand something. You don't know what people go through. All right? You don't know what they went through during their career, because it wasn't like he was a short-form career individual. This man did over a decade in the NBA. So he did what he was supposed to do. He had made years of work in the NBA. Now, you can classify him how you want to. Does not matter. But if you want to talk down on him, did you make it? If you didn't, then you got to be quiet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot talk down on anybody that's made it into the NBA, because the first thing that you have to take into consideration, what was your talent like? Did you actually make it, or were you a person buying tickets to watch them play, or were you watching it from the TV? At a bar, at your house, at your friend's house, don't matter. Because these people, when they go out and do these things, they put their talents on the line to be judged by everybody. Not only the organization, but everybody that watches. And do you really have a right to talk down on anybody that you couldn't even get to that level of playing stage? So he's now going to that point like, why are you still talking about me? Which brings into question, when you talk about Michael Jordan and his greatness, he destroyed somebody that was 18 years old coming into the league. First off, Michael Jordan never made it into the league at 18. All of his greatness, all of that stuff, he never made it into the league until he finished college. He wasn't good enough. Let's talk about that. But this man left high school, got into the league, made sure his family was straight, did all of these great things, but Michael Jordan destroyed him mentally because of how he berated him as an individual. You have great players and you have great leaders. No one talks about Michael Jordan as a great leader, because that's something that he wasn't. I even watched The Last Dance. No one talked about him being a great leader. They just said he brought the best out of you or the worst out of you. That's it. No one ever talked about his skills in building you up. So with Kwame Brown, what you're seeing now is he's tired of people talking about him in a negative light. He just don't want you talking about him. Let him do his own thing. Don't bring him up. Don't discredit him. At the end of the day, he's a player. Because I think all of it started from All in the Smoke, or All the Smoke, by the podcast with Matt Brown and Steven Jackson. Don't get me wrong. These people have played for years. They've done their own thing. They've made headway. But neither of these players were the greatest players in the league. Now, I'm not knocking them either because, once again, they're in an elite club. So you have to respect it. But to discredit other people who have also spent time in the league, in the elite aspect. Like, this dude wasn't in the CBA. He wasn't in the G League. He wasn't overseas somewhere. He was in the NBA, which means he earned his spot. And I think we got to stop denigrating people because they didn't make a certain amount of numbers. Just because they weren't great in your eyes doesn't mean they're not great in other people's eyes. And that's something we got to look at. But that's the end of this session for this moment. Be on the lookout for more videos. I'm going to start doing more about sports because I got a video coming up about Floyd Mayweather and the fight that he's got coming up. So be on the lookout for it. Remember, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you comment on this. Show me some love and tell me what you think. All right, everybody. Peace.